Congratulations on joining the electric revolution with your new cutting-edge T2E terminal tractor. From the minute it joins your fleet, you'll notice the difference an all-electric truck can make, with minimal maintenance, zero emissions, less noise, no fumes, and lower operating costs. Keeping your T2E operating at peak performance can nearly double the life of the truck. This video will walk you through simple steps you can take to make sure yours will be spotting trailers for years and years. For full details on maintenance and operation of the T2E, consult your operator's manual. A copy is located in each new tractor in the seat back pocket. Checking the overall condition of your T2E should always be the first step you take when you start your shift. Don't start driving until you finish a complete walk-around inspection. From the front, check under the chassis for any leaks. Fluid leaks could lead to an unsafe operating condition, so if you see any fresh fluids on the ground, take corrective action before proceeding. As you walk around the right side of your T2E, check the fluid levels in the hydraulic reservoir. The levels are easy to read, and the filler cap is easy to reach if you need. Next, check the rear tires for proper inflation. Also, check the top of the frame and the fifth wheel boom to make sure they are free and clear of any debris. When examining the fifth wheel, be sure to check for damage and adequate lubrication. Make sure the jaws are open and working properly. Remember, never put any part of your body under the fifth wheel boom when it is in the up position, unless the boom arms have been properly blocked against accidental lowering. As you come around to the driver's side, check the rear tires and the batteries. Check the battery covers to see that the cover fasteners are secure. While you're here, drain the air tank reservoir of any moisture by pulling the lanyard. Now, let's tilt the cab. Before tilting, make sure the area in front of the cab is clear and there are no loose objects in the cab. Always keep clear of the cab when it's raising or lowering. Note the warning decal on the cab tilt instructions located on the frame by the cab tilt switch. Start by pulling the safety bar prop release cable to the rear. While holding the cable, move the tilt control switch to the up position and hold until the safety bar prop clicks into the lock position. Next, look under the cab near the steering box to see that the cab lock bar is all the way down. Never place any part of your body under a tilted cab without checking to be sure that the safety bar prop is in the locked position. When the safety guard is in the proper position, the cab is prevented from accidentally closing. Always look under the deck to be sure the cab is locked down. To double check, depress the cab tilt switch momentarily to the down position. To lower the cab, just reverse the procedures from before. Note that the safety bar prop has a release cable which must be pulled prior to lowering the cab. You will have to bump the tilt control switch to the up position in order to pull the release cable. Hold the switch down, look at the button on the latch, and hold long enough for the pin to retract. When all of the inspections outside have been completed, it's time to get into the cab and start the truck. But first, check the floor and all around for any trash or loose items and properly dispose of those items that could be a hazard. What you can't see can hurt you. Check the windshield, the windows, and mirrors to see if they need to be cleaned. Also, make sure your mirrors are properly directed. Before turning the ignition switch, make sure the parking brake is set and the transmission selector button is in neutral. Turn the ignition switch all the way to the right, then wait until you see a green light in the dash display, which indicates the truck is ready for use. The truck will undergo several quick self-diagnostic checks before fully starting. During this period, you'll hear a few clicking sounds coming from various parts of the truck, as it ensures the electrical system is safe to power on the high voltage. While the truck is building air pressure, now is a great time to check your gauges, switches, and controls for proper operation. Check the turn signals, lights, and windshield wipers, and adjust and lock your seat into the most comfortable position. Be sure to fasten your seatbelt. Before you release the parking brake, the air pressure gauge must read at least 60 psi. Apply the foot brake. The brakes are released by pushing down on the yellow parking brake button to your right. After releasing the parking brake, shift the transmission from neutral to the appropriate drive gear, and you're ready to move out. For more information on the proper gear selection and the use of gears for engine braking, check the operator's manual. If you run into any problems starting your T2E, never try to get it going by pushing or pulling. It just can't be done. Before attempting a change of direction, bring the vehicle to a complete stop before moving the shift selector. Your T2E gear selector has no P or park position. Every time you leave the cab, shift to neutral and set the parking brake. Never try to shift into neutral while the truck is in motion. Now, let's go find a trailer. The following procedures are highly recommended, but are provided only as a guide. Check your company policy procedure manual for specific guidelines, particularly if your T2E is equipped with any optional equipment not specifically covered in this video. It is the driver's responsibility to ensure proper trailer moving procedures and practices are followed. Also, remember there is only one seat in your T2E, so no riders allowed unless your vehicle is equipped with the optional Kalmar Ottawa trainer seat. Before backing up to the trailer, ensure that the fifth wheel is in the full down position and the jaws are in the open or unlatched position. Depress the unlatched palm button to double check. You should only use one foot to go back and forth from the brake pedal to the throttle pedal. While backing, line the T2E up with the front of the trailer by centering the fifth wheel to the center line of the trailer. Make sure the tail of the fifth wheel is below the bottom of the trailer. Slowly back under the trailer until the entire fifth wheel top plate disappears under the trailer. With your foot firmly on the brake pedal and the tractor shift selector in neutral, move the boom control lever to the up position. Raise the trailer until the trailer support is just off the ground. Do not raise the trailer any more than a few inches. After you have obtained adequate ground clearance at the trailer landing gear, place the shift selector in reverse. Release your foot from the brake pedal and back firmly into the kingpin until you feel and hear full engagement of the fifth wheel jaws. Remember, the latching jaws in the fifth wheel must be fully in the open position before attempting kingpin engagement. Place the transmission shift lever into a forward drive gear and give a tug at the kingpin to ensure positive lock of the jaws around the kingpin. Be prepared to stop if the fifth wheel jaws have not fully latched to avoid pulling out from under the trailer and dropping it. Place the shift selector in the neutral position and raise the boom using the boom control lever. Raise the fifth wheel to the necessary height to maintain ground clearance before pulling the trailer to the new location. Be aware of potential overhead damage to a trailer if it is raised too high. Once the proper trailer height is reached, apply the tractor parking brake. Now, attach both the trailer emergency and service air lines to the trailer, the blue and red air lines, and the trailer electrical cable. With the brake pedal fully applied, push in both the trailer air supply, red, and the parking brake control, yellow. This will charge the trailer air supply and release the trailer spring parking brake. After the tractor air system is fully charged, shift into the proper gear and release pressure on the foot-operated brake pedal. Allow the vehicle to roll a very short distance, then depress the brake pedal again to stop the vehicle. This procedure will ensure the service brakes on the trailer are working properly. Now we are ready to spot the trailer. Once the trailer has moved into its new location and fully stopped, shift into neutral and pull out on the trailer air supply control, red knob. This will apply the trailer parking brakes only. The parking brake control, yellow knob, should remain in with the tractor parking brake released. This will allow the T2E to move gradually as the trailer is lowered. Using the boom control lever, lower the trailer until the trailer supports are resting completely on the ground. Set the emergency parking brake control. Then, disconnect and properly store the air lines and electrical cable. Now, release the tractor emergency parking brake control. Depress and hold the fifth wheel unlatched control valve as you slowly pull away from the trailer. When the fifth wheel is completely clear of the kingpin, release the fifth wheel unlatched control. And you're off to your next trailer. With just short periods of opportunity charging, like during shift changes, the T2E can operate virtually around the clock. Here's how easy the process is. With the truck properly parked at your charging station and turned off, you're ready to begin the process. First, check that the green light on the high voltage charging station is illuminated, indicating that it's ready to be used. Open the panel for the charging port on the truck. Line the charging cable up with the charging port of the truck. Open the protective cap, then rotate it about 15 degrees counterclockwise. Connect the cable to the port and secure the cable in place. After a few self-checks, the white light on the charging panel will illuminate to indicate charging, and the LED will display the current battery level. To disconnect your T2E from the charging station, first, be sure to press the red button in the charge box. This will stop the charging process. You may then safely disconnect the charging cable. Keeping your T2E's batteries charged will help prolong the battery life. At 20% power, the truck will enter a low power mode that limits its speed and operation. Proceed immediately to the charging station if this happens. At 10% battery, the truck will power off completely to protect the batteries and will need to be towed to the nearest charging station. There are just a few more things we want you to keep in mind about your T2E. Your T2E is designed to move trailers for short distances and in confined areas. It is not designed to operate the same way as a road tractor and shouldn't be driven like one. When hauling a trailer in the yard, speed should not exceed 15 miles per hour. Since your T2E hauls loads with the front of the trailer in an elevated position, the load is not as stable as in a road tractor operation. So slow down going into and during the turns. Professional drivers know their tractor inside and out and have learned to operate their T2E with no pain to themselves and no strain on the tractor or the load. Thanks for viewing this video. Practice driving and spotting trailers. Know your truck inside and out. Take it slow. Think safety first, and you'll be a successful Kalmar Ottawa T2E operator.